I've been hearing some talk about you, new guy. Only great things, I hope. How are you, sir? Fantastic. Here you've been following the Destroyer around, helping out, maybe learning a bit. Mostly just being there when needed. That's good. That's a decent start to your career. But let me give you a word of advice. Stop holding back aggression. Ruthless aggression. Goes a long, long way. You're 100% correct. There hasn't been enough blood yet, and I definitely have a bloodlust in me. I suggest you let it out. If your tongue has a taste for that, let everyone know. And let them know loudly. Quite frankly, you need to show more aggression, or you won't survive here. Oh, I get it. It's comfortable in the shadow of Samoa Joe. Millennials and all that follows, sheesh. You gotta have ambition. And I know, and I hope you got that. Do you? Where do you want to go? Sir, I am definitely not here to be second to anyone. My aim is champion. Yeah? Because everyone says things of that nature, but do you mean it? Do you really, really mean it? Without hesitation. We'll see. I reckon sooner than later. Now, nobody wants to fail, obviously. You figure if you fail, you're exposed. From that standpoint, ambition is important. But so is aggression. Ruthless aggression. Use a foreign object, win this match. What's up, everyone? My name is Brandon Dillon. Welcome back to WWE 2K18 My Career Mode. People, I was going to start right at the match, but right away Vince McMahon showed up and I'm just like, okay, whatever. So I had to start recording it quickly, so if the beginning started off a little weird, that's why. Now we gotta go to the production area, and I guess, I don't know if I hope it's a no holds barred match, because I'm terrible at what is it? I'm terrible at taking the ref out and then not getting disqualified for using a weapon. Oh, look, there's Seth Rollins. Oh, brawl. Oh, I'm going to start a fight with Seth Rollins right now. Oh, hell yeah. Brandon Daniels. A knee to the face of Seth Rollins. I was not expecting this. Brandon Daniels hitting Seth Rollins with a chair right away. Brandon Daniels just attacking Seth Rollins with a chair. Brandon Daniels throwing Seth Rollins across the room. Seth Rollins throwing Brandon Daniels over his shoulders. Brandon Daniels reversing it into a Northern Lights suplex. That does not sound like Seth Rollins. That just sounds like a generic person. But okay, Brandon Daniels throwing him into the crates. Brandon Daniels with a suplex of his own. Brandon Daniels lifting up the racks. What's he going to be doing with those? Brandon Daniels hitting Seth Rollins in the back with the racks. Brandon Daniels showing his ruthless aggression. Like Vince McMahon wanted to see. Brandon Daniels bringing up Seth Rollins. And with a high kick to the face to Seth Rollins. Brandon Daniels getting Seth Rollins up. But Seth Rollins reversing it. Seth Rollins throwing Brandon Daniels across the hall. Brandon Daniels going into the locker room. Brandon Daniels picking up a steel chair, but Seth Rollins with a face buster. Seth Rollins with a high kick to Brandon Daniels. Seth Rollins picking up a chair. What's he going to do with that? Brandon Daniels picking up the chair and throwing it across the room. Brandon Daniels right into the locker. With a super kick right to Brandon Daniels. What's Seth Rollins going to do? Is he going to hit the pedigree? Brandon Daniels reversing it. Elbow to the head. Brandon Daniels with a clothesline. Brandon Daniels picking up the briefcase. What's he going to do with that? Hitting him in the face with the briefcase. Seth Rollins is busted wide open. Seth Rollins, elbow to the head. Seth Rollins throwing Brandon Daniels into the locker. Getting Brandon Daniels up. A high knee to the face of Brandon Daniels. A kick to the chest. Brandon Daniels with an arm drag. A knee to the face of Seth Rollins. Brandon Daniels leaving the locker room area. Where's he going? Brandon Daniels. Oh, with an STO right to Seth Rollins, taking him down momentarily. Now, where's Brandon Daniels going now? Brandon Daniels going to the parking lot area. Why is he heading out over there? Another STO right to Seth Rollins. Brandon Daniels getting on top of the car. What's he doing up there? Probably bad things. Nothing good can happen from standing up there. Seth Rollins going over to the car. Brandon Daniels, what's he going to do? Brandon Daniels. Seth Rollins with the punch. Brandon Daniels with a punch. Brandon Daniels just punching Seth Rollins. Uppercut. Brandon Daniels. Continuous punches to Seth Rollins. A knee to the chest. Brandon Daniels just keeps punching Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins reversing it. Seth Rollins with another reversal. Seth Rollins with an uppercut. And this, it's glitching. Oh, throwing Brandon Daniels off of the limo. Going for a Phoenix Splash but missing. With an dragging the leg. Brandon Daniels setting up for the finishing move. Brandon Daniels with the back suplex facebuster, taking out Seth Rollins. Security trying to break it up. Brandon Daniels, very impressive in that backstage brawl, but was that really that necessary? I don't see how that was very necessary. Todd Mullen has something to say to Brandon Daniels. Hey, no match for you tonight. Take a breather while you can. Oh, you should go talk to Stephanie, though. She wanted to see you. And I don't want to steal any of her thunder. She looks like she's in a really good mood tonight. Look at you. Only 3 weeks in, and you've got her beaming. Some kind of record that. Okay. Let's go speak to Stephanie McMahon. Let's hear what she has to say. Maybe she's excited that we took out Seth Rollins. There's Stephanie looking excited to see Brandon Daniels. There he is, the go-getter I wanted to show up. I try to be where I'm wanted. I'll say, you know, you're quickly becoming accustomed to things around here and focusing on what's important. That's all thanks to you. You're a great coach and you know where to point me in the right direction. Wow, that's some heavy ass kissing. I'll let it slide this time, flatterer. I mean it. Your calls have already been the right ones for my career. Alright, I said enough flattery. I hear you. Basically, it's simple. I wanted to take a moment to tell you that you've been doing a great job. You aren't the first to do the things you've done, but you have a spirit that they don't. I want you to know that it shows. Keep this up, and we might give you more TV time. Would that interest you? Absolutely, of course it would. Of course it would. Stephanie McMahon has some very nice words to say about Brandon Daniels, the former NXT champion. Speak with Mr. McMahon in the parking lot. Let's hear what Mr. McMahon has to say. So where is Mr. McMahon? Oh, right there. Right there where the parking attendant usually is. Let's hear what he has to say. Now, if it isn't the not so prodigal son, look, I'm on my way out too, but let's chat. Of course, sir. Turns out you were listening to me attentively. I saw what you did out there tonight. It's funny, I kept hearing this phrase you told me repeating and repeating over and over in my mind until it couldn't contain itself. Fantastic. It's no secret that I've grown some of the de facto best megastars in the WWE. And from our talk earlier, I know you are dreaming big. I am, sir. Keep your ears wide open and listening to my directions, and you will be on the top in no time. Count on it. It's funny, I kept hearing the phrase you told me, repeating and repeating over and over in my head until it couldn't contain itself. Fantastic. Good night, son. Good night, sir. See you next week. See ya. Oh, and one more thing. Call me Mr. McMahon. Mr. McMahon, very nice words to say to Brandon Daniels. A chairman of the board thinks very highly of Brandon Daniels. That's good to know. Brandon Daniels is going to have a very, very bright future here in the WWE. Stephanie McMahon greeting Brandon Daniels the next week on Raw. Hey, I don't really have time for you right now. I want to talk to you about next month's pay-per-view. Now is the perfect... I'm going to cut you off. I figured you would pull something. Okay, look. I know where you're going with this, so I'll make this bandage ripped off your skin quick and easy. You want in on the next pay-per-view, you need to strike up a rivalry that will actually interest the WWE Universe. Quick and easy, right? Fair enough, I'll make sure that happens. It's not going to happen in my office, so please leave. Like I said, I have important things to get to. Stephanie McMahon says that Brandon Daniels needs to start up some sort of rivalry in order to, make it to the next pay-per-view, which is Fastlane. Brandon Daniels knows that he's ready to compete at Fastlane. And Stephanie McMahon just, doesn't really believe him. Let's talk to Todd Mullen real quick. Slick, what's the good word? Apparently I need to jam my finger in a hornet's nest and jostle it around. What, only your finger? Gotta get your arm up in there. Really mean it. Haha. So, they want you to create some buzz around a pay-per-view match. Is that it? You got it. Alright, let me think about that one while you're in your match tonight. Thanks, looking forward to your killer plan. Oh, you know it. I'll make sure it's a beast. Good luck out there, man. Brandon Daniels. Let's see who is going to be facing here tonight. Brandon Daniels going one-on-one with Zack Ryder for the first time. Now listen, Zack Ryder is good and all, but Brandon Daniels is too good for Zack Ryder. I know Zack Ryder is very underrated, but Brandon Daniels should be facing guys like Braun Strowman, like Roman Reigns, like Seth Rollins, like Samoa Joe. He doesn't have time for these nobodies like Zack Ryder. Management is just wasting his time. Are you kidding me? But anyways, let's get right into this. Brandon Daniels making his way to the ring. And you can also buy that Brandon Daniels t-shirt at WWEshop.com. Okay, yeah, I'm kidding. Obviously, you can't buy it at WWEshop.com. But you got you know, guys, if at some point you guys want me to sell that shirt, even though there's not that many of you, I'll be happy to do it. No one's gonna buy it, but like, sure, why not? Brandon Daniels making his way to the ring, though, for his very first match here on Monday Night Raw against Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels moved up to the main roster about a month ago, being the puppet of Samoa Joe. Brandon Daniels made a huge impact last week on Raw when he attacked Seth Rollins in the backstage area. Let's see how Brandon Daniels does in this match tonight against Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder, former United States champion, former Intercontinental champion, former Internet champion, if that really means anything, which it really doesn't. Brandon Daniels knows that he can defeat this former champion here tonight. Zack Ryder, he's just a jabroni to Brandon Daniels. He doesn't think Zack Ryder is worth anything. Brandon Daniels knows that he is the greatest superstar on Monday Night Raw. Zack Ryder is just a nobody to him. Brandon Daniels ready to defeat Zack Ryder tonight. Oh, but Zack Ryder right away with a backbreak. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with move names, so if I get these wrong, just like Zack Ryder dragging Brandon Daniels to the ropes. Brandon Daniels being pushed off the ropes. Zack Ryder getting Brandon Daniels up. Zack Ryder with a power bomb right to Brandon Daniels. Brandon Daniels a little shocked here tonight that Zack Ryder is getting in any offense. Brandon Daniels with a spear to the outside. Brandon Daniels was a little off his game at first, but I think he's back in it. Brandon Daniels throwing Zack Ryder into the steel steps. Brandon Daniels knocking Zack Ryder over the barricade. Brandon Daniels getting back in the ring. Knocking Zack Ryder down. Brandon just stomping at Zack Ryder, but then Zack Ryder getting some offense in there. Brandon Daniels with an elbow to the leg. And Zack Ryder throwing Brandon Daniels over the top rope. Brandon Daniels did not expect any of this in this matchup tonight. He just expected Zack Ryder to be some jabroni that he could go through in like about 30 seconds. But clearly that's not the case here tonight. Brandon Daniels Irish whipping Zack Ryder into the corner. A running knee and then a clothesline right to to Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels going to the top rope, waiting for Zack Ryder to get up. Brandon Daniels missed the kick. Brandon Daniels with a scoop slam right to Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels showing off real quick. Brandon Daniels with an arm drag right to Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels showing off again. Brandon Daniels does not care about anyone. He only cares about himself. He only wants to impress the management backstage because he wants to be in the main event of WrestleMania next month, which we know is not going to happen, but he wants that. That is the only thing on his mind. Zack Ryder with a moonsault, a springboard moonsault, but missing. Brandon Daniels Irish whip into the corner. Brandon Daniels with running knees to the back, and then putting Zack Ryder on the middle rope, and then a neck breaker. He's going for a neck breaker from the middle rope. Brandon Daniels showing off once again. Brandon Daniels having absolutely no chill, just showing off every chance he gets. A punch to the face, another punch to the face. Brandon Daniels getting Zack Ryder up. Zack Ryder getting out of it, but Brandon Daniels catching the leg and the knee to the face. How devastating. Brandon Daniels going for a kick to the face of Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels showing off once again. Brandon Daniels really needs to quit showing off, getting a little ahead of himself here on Monday Night Raw. Knees to the face of Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels has nothing better to do than show off. Brandon Daniels really needs to prove himself here on Monday Night Raw. Brandon Daniels dragging Zack Ryder against the ropes. Brandon Daniels putting the foot of Zack Ryder over the rope and twisting his ankle around the rope. Brandon Daniels again showing off the only thing he knows how to do. Brandon Daniels. Zack Ryder fist bumping, getting the crowd excited. An Irish whip into the corner. Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels putting Zack Ryder in the corner. Brandon Daniels going to the middle rope. A knee to the back of Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels with a knee to the face of Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder with a DDT to Brandon Daniels. Zack Ryder in the corner. Going to the top rope, hyping up the crowd, getting them excited for this match. Brandon Daniels with an STO to Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels. Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels with a knee to the gut of Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels. Oh, with a kick to the face. Brandon Daniels going for the pinfall early on. Brandon Daniels going for a power bomb. But Zack Ryder reversing it. Brandon Daniels. Zack Ryder with a DDT right to the mat. Brandon Daniels. Brandon Daniels with a running kick to the chest of Zack Ryder. And then Brandon Daniels. Zack Ryder reversing it. Brandon Daniels getting out of the ring very smart. Zack Ryder was getting ready for the Rough Rider. Brandon Daniels walking around the ring, trying to think of another strategy. Trying to think of a way to get out of this. Brandon Daniels is in a little bit of a tough spot right now. Brandon Daniels. Zack Ryder lifting up Brandon Daniels. Zack Ryder setting up for the Rough Rider. Rough Rider by Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder dragging Brandon Daniels to the middle of the ring. Going for the pinfall. 1, 2. Kick out at 2. Brandon Daniels kicking out of the Rough Rider. Zack Ryder. Brandon Daniels. Brandon Daniels going for the back suplex facebuster right to Zack Ryder. Going for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Brandon Daniels has defeated Zack Ryder in his debut match here on Monday Night Raw. Brandon Daniels celebrating his victory here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Brandon Daniels being welcomed by Todd Mullen in the backstage area. So about that killer plan, lay it on me. Had a chance to talk to the big guy, and Vince thinks you can make the best impact by focusing on a single WWE superstar. Sounds good so far. And making his life absolutely miserable. Do I get to choose who it is? Kid in a candy store, take your pick. But don't cause too much trouble out there. Or do. Use a foreign object to win this match. Find out who Brandon Daniels is going to attack next time on WWE 2K18 MYCAREER mode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you guys will know whenever I post new videos. I will see you guys next time with a new video. Goodbye.